How you showing them?
Hello, how y'all?
Hey.
I had a picture of them
Oh, okay.
right there up. Uh, that's our antenna. Go ahead and turn it off. I'm sorry to ask you to do that for me, but I did. Um, my antenna up here. If you hear that rare, rare in the background, that's our satellite antenna on our RV that's broken or something. I don't know what the problem is. I'm hoping everything is good with everybody tonight. Um, One thing is that I've been talking to Dina about, and uh, we'd like to ask you to do something for us. Uh, about 70% of the people that watch this show, according to my Google and YouTube analytics, are not subscribed to this broadcast. 70%. So I think we had a total percentage that watched. We get about 3,000 to 4,000 people on every video watch the video, but only 30% subscribe to it. So we would ask you if you would, if you're watching this video and not watching it live, that most of this happens that are not watching this live. If you're not watching us live, if you could give us a shot and subscribe to the channel, it costs you absolutely nothing. And you could ring that little bell at the side of the subscribe button, and you could check us out when we are live. And if you could do that, give us a chance. And if you don't want to do that, if you could leave us something in the comments letting us know what would make it more attractive for you to subscribe to the channel. But either way, we do appreciate everybody that does check us out, and we appreciate all the people that subscribe to this channel. Um, we were going to cover tonight. We had a guest that was coming on, but at the last minute, he said that he was busy and couldn't come on.
Can't get off work.
Can't get off
He's
work.
gonna try for Thursday.
So I wanted to cover a little bit of Brian. A lot of stuff's been going on with Brian Laundrie, the suspect. He's got warrants on him for using Gabby's credit card, his young fiance that was killed in Wyoming, and her credit card was used after she died, and they have federal warrants on that. But we believe, and it's like in my opinion only, that I believe that he will soon be her a suspect or a person of interest in her homicide, if not a defendant in her homicide. And but I want to cover over a few things of what a lot of people are not covering, and that's who was or who is Brian Laundrie. What is his personality, or at least what was his personality in high school and before? And I ran across a couple of articles. This one was Brian Laundrie was a heavy set outcast in high school. In school, rather than school, said that he said he was nearly 40 pounds heavier when he was 14 years old. So this is in junior high. He basically was an outcast, and it continued on. This is a picture that I found when I think he was in high school. He had a coat thing on his head. Um, I don't know. It may just be you know something strange in this world. I guess it would be. He had some type of football shirt on. I can't really tell what state that is. Iowa maybe, or I'm not sure what it is. But here, one of his workers, the guy that worked with him, said that a former coworker remembers him as a chameleon, a weirdo, would sometimes lose his temper. Said that he used to be really into yoga, The article said that he actually told him, "Man, you need to get your zen right. You need to get your zen right, and everything will be fine." So, uh, said a friend said that he was a private person that was never into social media or photos until he started this van travels with Gabby. That the last 2 years, most public and open, that this in the last 2 years is the most he's ever been public and open. He's pretty disconnected, off the grid type of guy, not the selfie type. Said he was the type of person that would be able to drop everything and secure his means of not being captured and evade arrest or evade prosecution from what seems to be a pending crime. The friend revealed that Landry had zero friends in middle school and was in the lunch table with two other people. The pair were friendly at the time, but didn't become friends until high school. Brian was very quiet in school. He was a bit of an outcast when he was younger, and he was just so to himself. He was. He added that he was cut. He would cut his hair and lose weight in high school. Brian cut his hair and lost weight in high school. And it sounds like he was the type of guy that he was somebody that could kind of be isolated, and it really wouldn't bother him that much to be isolated, isolate himself from it. This is a picture of that. Let's see here and make this so bigger so I can read it. Said Landy's friend group consists of 4 members. Very latest news and updates on him. So he had 4 friends basically in high school that he ran around with, and I'm assuming that the FBI or whatever have interviewed all these friends. Um, Said he was always interested in guns, but find it eerie that Landry had been uh, keen on moving to Florida since high school. A lot of his friends have guns and stuff, and his friends said the gun laws in Florida are a lot less restrictive than in New York. So it was interesting for him to move to another state that allows that. And listen, just because you like guns or you're into guns, especially if you live in the South, there's a huge amount. It doesn't mean they're all serial killers or they want to get out here and shoot up people or do stuff and kill somebody. Um, I've got tons of friends that are totally into guns and have 20, 30 guns at their house, but they're hunters and they like to go out on weekends and shoot, and they believe in the Second Amendment. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I used to have a ton of guns when I was a police officer, but uh, I think I only have 2 guns right now. I have a gun we travel with, a shotgun we travel with, and Medina actually has a gun.
I don't
Uh,
have a gun. I got a pistol.
Landry's friend group is still a gun,
I know,
as far
but
as I
it's a
know.
pistol. It doesn't. When
Uh,
you say gun, I think of the double barrel shotgun pump.
uh, Landry's friend group consists of 4 close members. The friends had a gut feeling that Landry will reach out to him looking for help. It freaks him out when he thinks about it. He thinks about that. It freaks him out. The reason it would be me is the other very close friends were also very close with Gabby, but I was just very close with him, the friend said. He might think that I wouldn't hold some stigma or I wouldn't care about the matter. I get calls from unknown members and from block callers, and my heart drops. I'll be honest with you. You know, I've said this all along. I think personally, I think there's a very high probability that he is not alive. That's just my opinion. I think maybe that he is in, you know, did this crime and he's freaked out. He decided, you know, he couldn't see himself um, in a cage for the rest of his life. So he did himself in. That's just my opinion. But I understand, I read today that the search in the swamp, the big swamp down there in Florida, is pretty much suspended. I don't know why. I think they've searched all they can, the way I understand it.
without cutting open gators.
I guess. This is kind of a timeline of what happened. Um,
Beach Bum says, "Tell Thomas, what does your honest detective skills tell you?"
you know, he might be alive, and if he is, I don't think he's any place where he's going to be around people. That's it. You know, I heard that there's all kinds of stuff about the
Maggie. Maggie. Hush.
there are all things,
Maggie.
all a bunch of stuff
Hush.
about
No.
excuse me, I do this all the time when I'm on here. Yawn. I don't yawn on any time for the day except I'm on here. That's crazy.
Maggie.
Maggie.
It's Joe.
I think that one thing is I read today where well, I lost my train of thought.
Beach Bum says Brian Laundrie's parents are awful calm.
They are, but here's the thing. I know they're awful calm, and that's what bothers me too. Is why would I mean if my son had disappeared in the big reserve out here with 25,000 acres, you know, and if I didn't know where he was, and I thought that he may have done something to himself,
Gracie,
I'm going to be out there every day looking for him too, you know, as much as the police would let me. You know, I don't know. I kind of think they don't think he's something happened to him. Because they're not, you know, they're not being more involved. I know the dad did go out one day and help the police search some locations he supposedly knew that Brian used to camp at, but nothing was found supposedly. You know, I kind of think that I want to show you this right here, and this was later in my notes, but I want to go ahead and show it to you. This is a picture taken of Brian when he was up on the Appalachian Trail at one time. He had him a little camp beside the creek. Gabby's 22nd birthday was on the Appalachian Trail. They celebrated it up there. You know, one of his vlogger pals, Rose Davis, said the fugitive had previously lived on a hiking route for months, and he was a survivalist, and thinks cops should have found evidence by now if Laundrie was hiding in the Carlton Reserve.
That said survivalists say.
Survivalists say that, and here's the thing. I personally, you know, I know y'all saw it in the news where there was a guy that matched the description, and I'm going to show you a picture of him. They had he checked into a hotel with his girlfriend. The girlfriend actually, he used his girlfriend's credit card to check into the hotel, and that was very suspicious to the people in the hotel. And when he came in, a lot of people took his picture, sent it to the U.S. Marshals, and the FBI said, this looks like Brian Laundrie. So they evaluated the fact that the girlfriend checked in that he never talked to anybody and was kind of vague about staying there, and they were rooming together. She had a New York. I want to say she had a New York license. It was a bunch of things that kind of gave them the fact they believed this possibly could have been him. You have to have a lot of evidence to get a search warrant, and it was enough to get a search warrant for him in a hotel room. And this is the guy if you put a hat on Brian and put a hat on this guy, they do favor a lot.
I don't think
And
they favor at all.
well,
The noses are totally different.
I know, but you're talking about
Nah.
just a general picture. If you took that and took that, it favors a little bit.
No.
Well, it was enough. The marshals, they got a warrant and they busted down the hotel door and found this guy in bed with his girlfriend, and they cuffed him and they took a fingerprint, and then they found out it was not him. It was this guy and his girlfriend hiking from Georgia to Virginia on the Appalachian Trail.
See, the ladies agree with me that they don't look alike.
I think it was the circumstances was enough. You know, you got a guy with a beard, could have been him. Girlfriend from New York, girl
He's got
checked
pointed
in.
Ears.
I'm just saying
His
it was enough where
nose
you
is
don't
turned
have
up.
to be exact. It's difficult to take.
Yeah, see, Rhonda noticed his pointed ears too.
Okay, well, y'all are right, and the U.S. Marshals were wrong. Why did I even? They should have called y'all instead of got the judge to
They
issue a
should
warrant.
have. See,
Yeah,
all
they
had to
should
do
have
was
called
show.
y'all.
Ah.
But anyway, they felt like it was enough, and they did a search warrant out there, and it turned up not to be him. And so they are taking information that about Brian very seriously. Now, do I think he was on the Appalachian Trail? I don't think he's running and hiding on the Appalachian Trail. One is the Appalachian Trail is there are tons of people on it. Tons. There are people hiking up and down it every weekend. Uh, it would be very hard for him to live on that trail without being seen. Now, could he have disguised? Could he have shaved his beard off? Could he have grew his hair out a little bit because he hadn't been seen in 4 months? Yes. Could he have not, been on the trail up there in disguise? Sure. But the thing is, in the next month or two, you're going to have snow on the whole trail from about North Georgia north. So, unless he's got somebody, another thing does he have somebody he's staying with? Has the parents got him a cabin somewhere? I think they were the FBI and the U.S. Marshals. They will search out everything. They'll look at where the parents' monies went. I've heard this thing is that supposedly the parents are worth $5 million. I have not seen one evidence that that's true. Not one piece of evidence that that's true. If somebody has that evidence where they can say for sure that they are rich, $5 million to me is rich. Please send me something at the missing live stream. And but this is kind of the timeline of it, of Brian Laundrie's timeline. If you go back to July 2021, that was when Brian and Gabby leave for this trip. It says grip, but it's trip across America to visit numerous national parks. August the 12th was when the police responded to an incident and I'll have to go down to get this because they're on the left side of the page. Um, an incident, verbally upset, um, unfortunately dispatched when they told him that it wasn't made plain to the officers that Brian had been slapping Gabby. On the 24th of August, Gabby is seen leaving a motel room in Salt Lake City, Utah, with Laundrie. On September the 1st, Laundrie returns to his home in Northport, Florida, without Gabby. Now, I think that is a big, big, big red flag to me. I mean, if you want to come back to just settle your differences, something up, and um, why not park the van at an airport lot, long-term lot? You can leave it there up to 6 months without anybody saying anything. Go back home with you and your girlfriend. Go back home. Y'all visit whoever you're going to visit. And fly back and get in your van. I don't. This to me is a red flag. Um, Landry joins the family on a camping trip on September the 6th on a camping trip about 75 miles from their home in Northport. September 11th, reports her family reports her missing. Um, it doesn't say there when he drive. Oh yeah, leaves home. Yeah, it doesn't say when he drives the van back. I don't see that back unless they're saying. Um, oh, this is September 1st. It doesn't say about the actual flight. I guess they're home. I misconstrued that. Uh, Landry leaves his home to hike in Carlton Reserve, Florida. His family has had initially said that, let's see, September 14th, but revised the timeline weeks later. Landry, the 15th, was named a person of interest in the case of Gabby. The 16th body cam footage was released. Um, the 19th, the FBI announced the body found in Wyoming National Park, believed to be Gabby. And the 23rd is the FBI issued a warrant for Landry, claiming he used an unauthorized debit card belonging to Gabby. And let's see. Okay, funeral was held on the 26th September in New York for Gabby. And the 27th, Dog the Bounty Hunter announces that he will lead and help an investigation try to find Laundrie. Uh, the 28th, emotional press conference, basically by Gabby's family. October the 5th, he appeared on Good Morning. Landry's sister appears on Good Morning America, urges her brother to come forward. And October the 7th, Landry's father assisted law enforcement in the search for his son. Now, I don't know why that the sister gets on Good Morning America and does this, unless she's trying to take some heat off the family. Um, it does no good for them, um, making him look any less guilty. But I did read about this, which I don't know. I've looked. Have y'all went to his his Pinterest page, his Instagram page, his the YouTube page, his Twitter page? There's been some people that the web sleuths out there and stuff that have supposedly seen movement on the page, and it could be the FBI checking his pages, but it says logging on. Brian Landry, sleuths convinced he's still alive after he logged into emails and updated his Pinterest account. Well, I'm not sure that's him, but He appeared to convince that Brian Laundrie is alive after claiming that he logged on to his emails and updated his Pinterest account. Online detectives have suggested a series of wild theories at this that try to help the FBI agents and police find the missing fugitive. And I'll be honest with you, they've said that they believe that he was in the flower garden, that he believed that he was in a bunker at the house. And I'm gonna tell you, they can't have basements or bunkers in Florida because the water line's 4 feet deep under the house. I know this for a fact. When I lived at the Gulf Coast, we would drill a hole in the backyard to get a sprinkler system to water the yard. You couldn't drink it, but it was clean enough that you could water the yard with it, and you only had to go down 4 feet to get water.
You didn't want to drink it. It was
No,
brackish.
it was brackish, and really 12 feet you could get fairly clean water. I call it hard water, but they posted this, and this was supposedly one of these accounts. I tried to find it online, and I couldn't find it now. Tonight I was scrolling through his pins. This is Pinterest, I guess. He now follows 146 people. I don't know about that. And then this one was another one here. This weeks ago, he follows 145 people. So I don't know. It could be a federal agency that's doing that. One person. I don't know. It says here, internet sleuths claim that Laundrie may have logged into his emails while on the run. One online detective known as Ivan Scott tweeted, when I first discovered Brian Laundrie's email account, I posted that there was activity using it on September the 18th. Now the as latest update showing activity on October the 15th. I don't know how he can tell if there's activity on an email account. Um, the sleuth speculated that either Laundrie is active in his account or has been hacked or the feds are checking. Another internet sleuth known as Kyrith or the Bounty Hunter, the kayak bounty hunter claimed he discovered a mobile phone and that it appears to be an email account linked to the email as discovery options. There's no evidence to support this claim that Laundrie has been active on emails. Blogger Shanae Dodge alleged Laundrie is following more people on what is believed to be Pinterest page. So, I don't know. Y'all, there's been also crimes that have been discovered and solved by internet sleuths. I mean, they have been. And a lot of investigators are no more smarter than you and I are people that have no experience at all because that you tend to not be have any. It's if I look at a case on something, I'll look at it from all of my law enforcement experience, and I might even have certain blinders on about ruling out stuff pretty quick. Where you don't have, or she doesn't have experience, or y'all don't have a lot of experience in solving crimes or working as a police officer, then you don't have those blinders on, and you don't, you can look at the whole picture even better than some cases that I do.
Those blinders, a lot of times they put them on donkeys to keep them going straight.
Well, you ought to know. She said 3 weeks ago I posted in my stories about Brian's Pinterest account. In my screen grab from these 3 weeks ago, he was followed 145 people. tonight I'm scrolling through the pins in his account. I noticed this. He now follows 146 people. That's weird, right? Read our Brian Landry's live blog of very latest news and updates. Like, of course, the following count went up as people have flocked to these pages, but how did who he follows go up within the past 3 weeks? There's no evidence to suggest that Landry has been updating his social media profiles. The Pinterest account may have been hacked. What?
Oh, I'm just
You're
reading.
laughing.
No,
Okay.
well, T.S. Jackson
Uh,
said if I was Laundrie, I might shave my eyebrows and go drag, and it made me laugh.
It is not the only theory that has been touched by sleuths during the manhunt for Gabby Petito's fiance. Internet detectives claim the Laundries may be hiding under the parents' flower beds after drone footage appeared to show suspicious movements. Wild theories. The video appears to show a woman who sleuths claimed to be Landry's mother gardening. Social media sleuths have wildly alleged that she could see hand emerge from underneath the flower bed. There's
Ooh,
no evidence to support this claim. I'm sorry, people. That's a little strange. Uh, oh, it's probably going to get better before it gets worse. Other social media users are skeptical, as suggested the woman pulling out a weed from her flower bed. Online sleuths bizarrely claimed that they noticed a white colored square pit in the garden, fueling allegations that the Landers are hiding him in an underground bunker. There's no evidence to support that. And I can tell you right now, that is not true. It's just you can't build anything underground. They have trouble putting swimming pools in without putting pumps to pump the water out from underneath these things. Amateur detectives are left wondering that these inside the Landry storage locker, which allegedly flew home to clean out during the cross country road trip with his fiance. I'm sure the FBI has checked that. Uh, because I want to tell you about these storage lockers. We used to find people sleeping in them all the time, using them as little apartments. Can't do that. It's not sanitary. Um, Steve Burton Tello, the family lawyer, said 23-year-old left Salt Lake City, Utah, August the 17th and headed for Tampa. His attorney said Landry returned to Utah August 23rd, the day before Gabby and her fiance checked out of the motel. The lawyer confirmed that the locker was emptied as Gabby and Landry were seeking to extend their trip. He said, to my knowledge, Brian and Gabby paid for the flights as they were sharing expenses. So there's he's saying that both of them came home, but I never heard that before. I don't know. Brian flew home to obtain some items, empty their clothes, the storage unit, and save money as they are contemplating extending the road trip. I don't know if she did or came home. That's not maybe I'm not reading that right.
you're not. They're just saying that they both paid for it together. That Brian told him that she was there at the time. I guess that's the way I take it.
Okay. All right. Updating profiles, Reddit detectives posted, dying to know what the heck, I'm not say there, so important about the storage locker. Amateur sleuths previously claimed that they had proof Laundrie was still online, as they alleged that he's still updating numerous social media platforms. They claimed he created a Spotify playlist titled Self Consumption shortly after she vanished. They also alleged that its name was changed to Nomadic Static with a K instead of with a C, which was their YouTube channel. which is the name of their YouTube channel. It's Static, I think, Static. It may be K. I'll have to look. I thought it was C though. The search to find Laundrie has entered in their fifth week, and cops continue to scour the Carlton Reserve in Florida. I heard today though they suspended that. May not be true. Hey, that's my leg. She's over
My
here.
claws are right here.
And she's over here tempting the cat with his oh
You
his
did that.
paws, and he's got his claws out on my leg. Hey, chill, okay. Um, ooh. He allegedly told his parents last month that he was going for a hike in the snake-infested reserve, but private investigator Jason Jensen thinks Laundrie may be hiding out somewhere on the Appalachian Trail and believes the winter will flush him out. He told News Nation Now, "I would really start in northern Georgia and work my way up to South Carolina, and that's where I'd concentrate my efforts. You're going to have to be you're going to have a milder winter there. I do know that I would expect that my cabin would be broken into, and he basically goes on. I've got this thing running, and I'll probably take it off in a second. But basically, he's thinking like what happened to Rudolph, the abortion bomber that stayed hidden in the Appalachian Mountains for like 2 or 3 years. He actually would break into cabins up there. There's a number of cabins that are only used in the fall and the summer up there by people, and they would break into these cabins, steal food, and stay in there for a few days to get out of the weather. And he's not talking about these very nice houses with these alarm systems. Whoa, the cat using his claws on my knee. Uh, he's talking about these small cabins. They're all over the place, hunting cabins and other things up there in the snow that they can get in and take shelter. And we talked about this earlier. Former FBI agent here, former FBI agent uh, Jennifer, and I can't pronounce that, Coffiner, thinks it's certainly plausible that Laundrie may be hiding out in the Appalachian Trail. Laundrie celebrated Gabby's 22nd birthday on the Appalachian Trail earlier this year. One of the blogger's pals, Rose Davis, said the fugitive has previously lived on the hiking route for months. Survivalists think cops should have found evidence by now if Laundrie is hiding in the reserve, Carlton Reserve. A former U.S. Marshal, Lenny DePaul, believes the fugitive is sleeping with one eye open as he fears law enforcement's next move. And I'm gonna tell you, by them saying that the marshals are on this case, and they tried to apprehend what they thought was Brian in the last couple of days, tells me that he is in deep poo poo if the marshals are after him, because I'm telling you, because they just do not play. The marshals are a highly trained manhunters. That is what they do for a living. And if they are after you, eventually you will be found. And if you resist or try to use violence to resist, then you will not make it out alive. And I fear for the officers, and I fear for Landry that he is not going to make it out alive if he tries to go with violence. And he may be thinking that, if he did this, he may be thinking, well, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison, so I'm not going to jail under any circumstances. So there you go. But I really have doubts that he's alive, because it's like, I don't think, I don't know. I just believe that he may be on the run. One thing I want to discuss next is something that's happening right here where we are, near where we are. This little baby is missing. We all had, and I don't know if y'all got the Amber Alerts. We got the Amber Alerts up here for the last couple of days. This is a biracial baby. The mother is white. The father is not involved in his disappearance. He's black. He was abducted. This child was abducted in the last few days by this man right here. His mother, they found his mother dead a few days ago. This is her, and the child was missing. This guy right here was surrounded by police in a house near Milwaukee, or in Milwaukee, and ended up killing himself. The baby has not been found. What happened was, once they put out this Amber Alert for this guy right here, which, as far as we know, has nothing to do with the relationship with the child. Nothing that they can say. The police are trying to look at this there, but he's not the father. But he took the child, killed the mother, took the child. When they surrounded him, and they found his car parked behind a laundromat in Milwaukee. They surrounded him at a house, and he ended up shooting himself and killing himself. And he didn't leave a note where the child was. They had a huge search party on the ground near the laundromat and near a wooded area yesterday and today. It's downtown, actually, near in the downtown, the more of the, I'm not going to, I say it's lower income area of downtown. Major P. Harris is his name. Last seen in La Crosse on October the 9th. May be traveling from La Crosse to Milwaukee between 9th and the 12th. Now, this was before the guy that had him ended up being cornered and killed himself. He is 5'3". He's 3 foot tall, weighing 40 pounds, brown eyes, black hair, currently styled in shoulder length dreadlocks. Major was last seen wearing dark blue t-shirt and small with a small pocket on the left side, navy blue Nike basketball shorts. He also has a small scar on his face. They asked if anybody knows the whereabouts of him to contact the Milwaukee police. They are all hands on deck on this investigation. This is Milwaukee area, the Haven Woods State Forest is where they've been looking for him at. The mother, I think the way they said was the mother was found shot at 37 and Clark. He was cornered somewhere up here around Sherman Village and or 41st First and Custer, where he ended up shooting himself. And they have searched this forest thoroughly. They searched it all yesterday, about 16 hours. They brought out, it looked to me, they showed pictures today, about 100 to 200 police cadets, and they searched the area too. They are not searching for a live child pretty much because of the terrain is wooded. It's swampy. It's they showed it on TV. It's forestry area, even though it is in, I think that is like in the north section of Milwaukee. But they're pretty much, they searched also a place in near Dodge City. I'm not sure exactly where that's at. I know there's a Dodge City in Alabama, but this is somewhere else Today they searched with canines and everything, but they turned up nothing. They also had a garbage truck stopped down in this area. They had information that he might be in there. They searched the entire garbage truck, all of the inside material, and didn't find him, thank God. Um, this is the poster, 3 foot tall, 40 pounds, small abrasion on his right cheek, dark t-shirt, navy blue Nike basketball shorts, and he's barefooted. That's what he says here. But he's just a very, very cute little kid, and
his daddy wants him.
yeah, his daddy is begging for his return.
He said he's not leaving Milwaukee till he finds his
Apparently,
child.
his father's from somewhere else. We also want to bring up this. This is another missing kids out of Milwaukee. Missing children last seen September the 22nd. They are believed to be in the company of their mother, which is she does not have parental rights. Now, I don't know the situation, and a lot of times people, when they hear that, and including me, I would say, I used to look at this and say, well, they're with their mother, they're safe, but that is not true. And we have seen, like Susan Smith, that drove her kids into the river there and drowned them, and
what Chris did his girls.
And then you've got all kinds of fathers that have done stuff to their children, and we had a guy in Mobile that took their kids and threw them off. 4 of his children, and threw them off the bridge and killed them there in Mobile, Alabama. So fathers and fathers and mothers are not always the safe person for kids in the family, especially when the court has reason to take their parental rights away from them. They're requesting the public's assistance in locating Andrian Shaw 3 and Caleb Haywood 2. And this was published 6 days ago.
Yeah, they've had this year so far in the Milwaukee area, they've had 11 Amber Alerts, and they said that normally they only get about 3 a year, but this year I think there's been 11.
It says here Wednesday the 22nd, and it tells exactly Herman Street, and I don't know what the other avenue is. Adrian is described a 3-year-old boy, has brown hair, hazel eyes, weighs approximately 27 pounds, and is 3 feet tall. Kaya is described 2-year-old boy with blonde hair, brown eyes, weighing 24 pounds. Is 2 foot 7 inches tall. The children may be in the company of their mother. They're not even 100% sure that is true. Anyone with information on the children's whereabouts are asked to call the Milwaukee Police Department. And I'm going to tell you something about Milwaukee Police Department to start off with. They've had tons, and I don't know exactly how many, but they've had a lot of young police officers killed on the line of duty in Milwaukee. And I don't know if it's because of training. I don't know if it's because they need to have 2-man cars in the bigger cities. I think that's, I have seen some of their cars have 2-man cars now, but way too many officers have been shot up here. And so, I know they got an interim police chief right now. Their regular police chief left, but it's a big city. It's got a hometown feel when you're in the middle of the city. I've never felt unsafe downtown. I have walked downtown. We have walked downtown together. We walked downtown at night together down there. I've never felt unsafe. There's not a lot of police down there. I did see a couple of police officers and talked to two of them last year when we were down here, or earlier this, I don't know, maybe several months ago when we were down here. But you just, but it does have a lot of crime. Um, and the city's broken up into sections where it's the high crime areas and then the lower crime areas. So it's just like any other big city for sure. Y'all have any questions or any comments about anything we talked about today?
TS said that they had one killed on his first day on the job down in South Georgia.
And I hate that because I'm going to tell you what a lot of it is. Um, you really don't know what it's like, and we say this a lot. If when you first get out of the academy, and you start riding with an officer, a lot of times that officer will tell you, forget everything you learned in the academy. Your real training starts on the street, and it's very, very true because you just don't learn a lot until you get out there and you get some experience. You really don't. And
Oh, Beach Bum said, "Did you hear Larry Millette was arrested today?"
no, I didn't. Wow, what were all the charges? Did it say what the charges were? Murder or?
Yeah, Beach. No, yeah, murder of his wife.
Yeah. Well, we can just hope that they do get Brian and that he is not deceased, because he needs to face the wrath of justice. You know, just finding him committing suicide somewhere or whatever like that um, is not going to serve justice. To be honest with you, it's not going to serve any type of closure for the family. I don't think. You know, did you look at this picture? This is a picture of our
Wait a
pups.
minute, don't go anywhere just yet. Pull up the thing over there so I can send you something.
Okay, hold on a second, y'all. Okay,
You're not showing up.
I'm here.
Oh, there you were. Shoot. Okay, hold on. Let me do it again.
What you trying to send me?
I'm trying to send you something that Ryan sent. You need to highlight that, he said.
Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all.
Cleo Smith. Cleo Smith, grave fears of missing 4-year-old girls in search in Australia enters the third day. The girl was holidaying with her family
I lost the thing here. Hold on.
Blow
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
at Blowhole's campsite in McLeod, around 560 miles north of Perth, when she vanished during early hours Saturday morning. That came from Ryan.
Okay. All right.
Look at that little girl, y'all. 3 days they've been hunting for her.
Cleo Smith. She is beautiful too. Uh, I know we have viewers in Australia. I have friends and a brother by another mother in Australia. Um, that's awful. Blowhole's campsite in McLeod, around 560 miles or 900 kilometers north of Perth. And she vanished during the early morning hours. That is pretty. Is that pretty desolate up there where she vanished from? I know Perth is way out there on the. It's on the Edinburgh, Perth on the um, western side of Australia.
How do you spell it? Perth.
You're right.
It's a city in Australia.
It's on the western side of Australia, I believe. And this is about 560 miles north of Perth. And I thought that was, is that off the coast from Indonesia? Am I thinking right? Or um, if you look at Australia, wouldn't it be in the on my left, top
Yes.
left?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wow. All of our friends in Australia, be on the lookout over there, and everybody here pray for her safe return for sure.
Where were they at?
They were in
McElroy?
yeah, campsite in McLeod to blowholes campsite in McLeod, 560 miles north of Perth, which I don't know. They'll have to look at what the blowholes are out there. I guess would that be like a on the coast where the water comes up and blows up through these things? I don't know. We'll look.
Yeah, I found it. Wait a minute. I found it. Blowholes Road, Mackin. Yeah, that's what it is. It's where the water.
The ocean comes
Yeah.
up and blows up through the
Yeah.
holes. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so that's where she was last seen.
Do they think she might have got into the water? Who reported that?
Ryan.
Ryan,
Oh,
do you think she might have got into the water? She's beautiful though, for sure. Okay. All right, everybody. We're gonna try this Thursday to have someone on live with us.
also about them if they got any friends,
and
family,
also,
anybody come up missing in their
yeah, if
town.
anybody comes up missing where you're from or around your town or whatever, be sure to send us an email to the missing livestream at gmail.com. And I'd appreciate it if you go over to our 1 million mile road trip, our RV channel, and subscribe to that channel. We sure would appreciate it. We're putting out 3 videos a week currently, and we sure would appreciate it. Doesn't cost you a thing to go over there and subscribe. All right. We love y'all, and we hope to see you back here on Thursday.
Y'all take care.
Take care.
I hadn't felt real good today, so that's why you didn't hear much from me. I kind of kept my mouth shut.
You kept your mouth shut?
Okay, donkey. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know. Whoops, wrong outro.